Coming to Herkimer was a big step for me in the right direction. I was at the point in my life where I wasn't going to school, I wasn't working. It was a constant battle between me and my mom. It was just every day me and her were getting arguments. She'd come home from work, and by the time she get home from work, I make sure I'm not out of the house. By the time she goes to bed, I'm not there. When I wake up in the morning, she wakes up at 7:30, she'd wake me up. And it was just a constant battle between me and her because I wasn't doing anything at the time of my life. And it's just, I knew she was trying to push me and everything, but it was just so hard for me at the time. And, throughout my athletic career, I've received a lot of important calls from agents, from college coaches, GMs of professional teams. But one call that stood out to me the most was a call from a guy named Pepe Aragon. That call basically changed my entire life. He wanted to talk to me about coming to Herkimer to play for Herkimer, but at the first time, I didn't know anything about Herkimer. I didn't even know where Herkimer was, never heard of it, just clueless. During our conversation, we talked about like past players who played for him, who I knew were from the city, and he wanted me to come to Herkimer and basically do the same thing that a lot of these guys did. And I had no doubt that I could come here and do the same thing. So when we talked on the phone, it was just an instant connection where coming to Herkimer, it wasn't even a question, it was just when. He wanted me to come and visit, and he wanted to send me brochures, he wanted to send me everything, but he didn't know that I was on board just from getting the call, because I know by going back to school and going back to Herkimer was what I wanted to do. It was what's going to make my mother happy, because it was just while at Herkimer, I met some amazing, people. Some of them were my teammates. Some of them were members of staff. I want to thank each and every one of them who played a role in me being here today. From Sam Grandy, my first year, who was the role model of what you want an athlete to be. He was the person who would do anything for the team. He did it on and off the field. He'll help you out if he can. He wasn't just on the field. It wasn't about Sam. It was about the team winning, and he did anything to let the team win. Ryan Brooks, who's here today, I want to thank him. At the time, he was just a teammate, but after I left Herkimer, me and him became more friends. And I think he was just, even now, me and him are closer than we were when we played together. I want to thank another teammate, Casey Bartlett, who's a former teammate, Jason Palkovich, who was the assistant coach at the time, Mr. Dutcher, Mr. Halls, the former president, Mr. Ronald Williams, who was always at the soccer games. He was a big part of what the soccer team meant. He was always there, always supporting us. And, as a player, you love that, to know that you have a relationship with the president. I remember the first time my mom came to visit, she shook the president of the school hands, and it was just, I could see the change on her face from when me and her used to argue to where, she's meeting the president of the school. And, that was just it had a big impact on me, because I could just see the smile on her face, and, that made me happy. I also want to thank all of the professors, Miss Gabriel was here, Mr. Fredericks and his wife, Miss Harris, Mr. Tester. My mother, she couldn't make it today, but, I want to thank her and my stepfather, who was always there to guide me in the right way. She pushed me, to go for more in life, and just didn't settle for being okay. Even though at the time the argument and everything seems like, it was just a rough patch in my life, and, I thank her for that. I knew she wanted more for me, and ever since I came to Herkimer, everything changed. Our relationship changed. We don't argue or fight anymore. It's just more when we talk on the phone, and, everything is good. And I wish she was here today to see the speech, but, she couldn't. She's actually getting married tomorrow. During my Herkimer career, I received a number of awards, but, none can compare to the phone call I received from from that guy Pep, you know. That phone call truly changed my life in a lot of ways that no one can imagine, you know. Not only was I drafted professionally, but along the road I was on the dean list, you know, ESPN Academy All-American, and all of that wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for him, you know. He always stressed that, you know, not only was I a good athlete, but I was good in the classroom as I was good on the field. And, you know, just by me getting that call from Pep, that opened doors. It opened so many doors for me, you know, unlimited doors that I couldn't even imagine if I didn't get that call. And I just want to truly thank Pep. And, you know, finally, I want to say I'm truly honored to be part of the Herkimer Athletic Hall of Fame. I want to give a special thanks again to Pepe Oregon for being one of the most influential people throughout my collegiate career. He wasn't only my coach, but he was someone who I could confide in if he had any problems. You know, Coach, you have meant more to me than you could truly imagine. All the awards and accomplishment wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for you. And I surely wouldn't be standing here today. There's no word that could express how thankful I am for everything you have done for me as a person. Thank you. Thank you.